What is going on? Welcome to video 1 of your 3-day fitness accelerator video series. In this video, you are going to learn 3 action items that you can literally use as soon as this video ends, and within 3 to 6 days you will notice results. I guarantee it. The first thing is, and before we even talk about nutrition, before we talk about exercise, it's so important that we talk about your levels of stress. So I want you to have an honest conversation. I want you to pause this video right now and have an honest conversation with yourself about the level of stress that you go through throughout the day. From the time that you wake up, from the time that you go to bed. I want you to look at your life like a glass of water. And every stressor that comes into your life, whether that be external, internal, doesn't matter whether it's exercise, it may be relationship issues, maybe you have trouble with finances, whatever it may be, each stressor represents a drop. And if your cup, by the time that you go to bed, if your cup is overflowing with water, you are looking at some serious long-term hormone damage. There's this hormone called cortisol, and if your cortisol levels are high, your body will never be able to shed a pound of fat, gain any sort of muscle, or make any sort of progress. So it's so important that we sit down and we identify what factors in your life are causing stress. And eventually I'm going to teach you exactly how to overcome that stress, but I want you to just be cognizant of that in this first video. The second thing I want to talk about is your nutrition. Now, before we get into exactly what you should be eating and exactly how much of it and when to eat it and all these other crazy details, I want you to do something. Over the next 7 days, I want you to log your food. So don't change anything that you're doing. Do not change a single thing. But download an application called MyFitnessPal, which you may or may not have heard of in the past. But what it is it tracks what you eat and it tracks your calories. But the calories are not the important thing. It's actually the nutrients, or as they call it, the macronutrients. But don't worry about that right now. What I want you to do is I want you to log a full week, every single thing you eat for a full week. And then we'll assess that situation at that point. But what you're going to find out is you're either eating way more than you thought or way less. And what you may notice is that maybe your calorie intake is really high, but you're very heavy on the fats. It's very, very common. And if that's the case, then you're eating too much of the wrong stuff. But we'll assess that when we get there. The third thing is a real quick exercising tool that you can start using today at home right now. It's actually using a band. And there are several exercises that you can do, 1 to 2 minute sessions a day, 10-minute sessions, so you're looking at 20 minutes a day, and that's just to start with. But what it is it's basically an anabolic stimulation session that's going to wake up your body. So if you're tired at all and you start using one of these muscle stimulation exercises, you're looking at a burst of energy that you can use in any part of your life. It's absolutely amazing. And not to mention, you are exerting a lot, you're exerting some energy and you're burning a few calories, but it's just a great introduction to where we're headed. So I'm going to pause this video right now. I'm going to go get everything set up and I'm going to run through a few exercises with you. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to be using a band to do stimulation exercises, which is essentially just introductory exercises. I am going to go in video 2 in exactly what exercises to do to increase your hormone levels and ultimately your fat loss. But for now, I'm going to go into band exercises. So I'm going to put a link at the bottom here, at the bottom of this video, to where you can go and buy one of these. I think they're about $20, but make sure you get the handles. It's easier to use. So I'm going to go into a few exercises now that you can start using as soon as you get your band. So the first exercise, you're going to want to make sure to put both feet on the band. about shoulder width apart, and you're going to do what's called a lateral raise. So you're going to take both arms up parallel and go to about shoulder level. Breathe in on the way up. Breathe out on the way down. All right, so that's one. Keep in mind, the entire simulation round of exercises should take 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes. All right, so the next one I'm gonna do is what's called a row. Now you can attach this band to a door handle or any fixed object, but I'm gonna just do this punchy bag stand for now. What you're going to do is, you're going to bring your elbows in and extend your laterals. Same thing, breathe in on the way. Breathe in as you extend your back and breathe out on the way back. And lean back just a little bit. All right. A couple more. Same thing. Feet shoulder width apart. We're going to do bicep curls. And keep in mind, if you want a little bit more resistance, just bring your feet out a little further than shoulder width apart and keep going. The further you go out, the more resistance you're going to get. All right, pretty easy. Next thing we're going to do is a squat. Now, same thing, your feet shoulder width apart. I'm actually going to move to the side so you can see it. And you want to bring your hands behind you and throw your hands above your shoulders. Shouldn't be a ton of resistance here. You're going to want to dip down, so suck in your stomach and shoot your butt out. So it's going to look like this. So you're kind of leaning back a little bit on your heels, but not too much. Should be a little bit of resistance. All right, and the last one I want to show you, feet shoulder width apart. We're going to do an overhead press with both arms. So again, much like you did with the squats, throw your hands above your shoulders and just extend upwards. Your arms should be coming in as circular motion. All right, 2 10-minute sessions of those to start out. You got a pretty good introductory session there. So again, next time, what I wanted to go over is exactly how to, or what exercises to use, how to use them, when to use them, to maximize your hormone levels, maximize your testosterone, minimize your cortisol levels, which is that horrible stress hormone that I was talking about, and ultimately cut down on your fat loss. Talk to you tomorrow.